What is up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Tattoo Critiques. This week we're peeling back the ins and outs on what makes a really good sticker tattoo and the techniques you can use to make them feel believable. Make sure to stick around to the very end of the video where I give you my favorite artist of the week, as well as a featured artist who I think you all should be following. All right, let's get it. Alright, the first tattoo is sent in from Gary Bowerman. And Gary sent in this little cat fox type tattoo. I'm not sure what it is, but I'm assuming it's a cat. Although I don't think cats have goatees, or drink booze for that matter, but what do I know? Anyway, let's talk about the actual application of the tattoo. For the most part, this does read as a sticker tattoo. There are shadows on all sides that kind of give it the idea that it's lifting off the skin. Although the shadows kind of run all around the sticker, and it doesn't seem like it's stuck down to the skin in any one part in particular. Usually you'd see the shadow on the bottom of the sticker, or parts where it looks like the sticker is peeling off. You do have a section at the top of this tattoo where it looks like the sticker is bent, so maybe you could have a little shadow in there, but that black heavy shadow that's there currently just doesn't look very believable. So I think what sells a really good sticker tattoo is having well-defined, crisp edges. And in this case, it looks like there are a couple missing outlines around the perimeter. Usually with a sticker tattoo like this, I would run a tight 3-liner around the entire perimeter just to make sure that it's nice and clean. Not necessarily a black line, I just mean something to separate the skin from the white. I know sometimes as artists we like to leave out outlines in certain places, giving them a softer edge, but in this case it just doesn't work out. The outline on the inside of the sticker is just a bit shaky, especially around the areas of the mouth and whiskers. It just gets a little bit muddy. Same thing could be said around the eyes of the cat. Those outlines just need to be a bit stronger. Although this cat does look like he's had a rough night or morning, so you're kind of getting away with a lot in this case. The yellow around the mouth just looks patchy. I'm not exactly sure what that is or if you meant to fill in the entire part of the mouth, but it just looks very spotty. As I mentioned earlier, at the top part of this tattoo where you have that bend, it just doesn't quite come off as realistic as it should. If you wanted to make a believable looking wrinkle, I would suggest using a liner and a light wash and give that a nice crisp line or edge and use a drop shadow down from there to make it look like there's an actual light source. Another thing that sell these sticker tattoos are having that white border that's all the way around the tattoo be as even and consistent as possible. And as you can see toward the bottom of this tattoo, that white gets really thin. And at the top of this tattoo, you've got areas where it's really thick. So the width of this border needs to be the same all the way around. Every little thing that I'm discussing adds up to make these tattoos as believable as possible. So for your first attempt, this really isn't a bad start. There are just a couple things I would tighten up in order to make your next sticker tattoo really pop off the skin. But thank you so much, Gary, for sending that in and letting me talk about it. Alright, next up we've got a Conker's Bad Fur Day tattoo sent in from collector Phil Holt. Phil, at first glance, I really enjoy this tattoo. It's one of those tattoos that you could make out from across the street. And Conker's Bad Fur Day was a great game. And one thing I noticed right away is the consistent white border that this tattoo has. And once again, that's a crucial element in making these tattoos look like an actual sticker. Another addition to the white border are these little gray shadowy areas that the artist added to help push the idea that the tattoo is not sitting flat on the skin. If we look at these little cracks on the edges, it looks as if this sticker is actually ripped and lifted up in those areas. Those cracks, as well as those little shadowy areas, really help add some texture, instead of it just being a flat image. Because sometimes when things look too perfect, they don't necessarily look real. So adding these blemishes to a tattoo like this just really send it home. Same thing with that orange fold at the top. It's just really helping sell the believability. Now, as far as the inside of the actual tattoo goes, the lines are pretty good, but I still think they could use just a little bit of work. I do like the variation of line weight, but I think those thicker lines just aren't as consistent as they should be. Most notably, if you look toward the top at the crown, those lines just kind of get a little chonky in that area. As well as that outline on that bottom right leg. It looks like the outline just got away from the artist and it just becomes a little blurry. Overall, this is a very good sticker tattoo, and you can really tell the artist knows what they're doing. So Phil, I appreciate you sending that in. Alright, the next tattoo sent in is from Shawn Knapp, an apprentice of 5 months. Shawn, you sent in this tattoo of what looks to be a raccoon kissing a lion. How cute. Right off the bat, this tattoo doesn't seem to be as strong as the others as far as a sticker tattoo goes. Obviously, a couple things that would help that out would be to, 1, have a gray wash outline around the entire perimeter. As we said before, having some sort of separation from the white to the skin tone really makes a huge difference. Another thing is, this tattoo comes off really flat. There's no indication to let you know that it's lifting off of the skin. Now, I know when you put a sticker on a wall, there's not really any drop shadow, but that kind of thing is necessary when it comes to these style of tattoos, otherwise it just looks like an illustration with a white border. Now, as we work our way to the inside of the tattoo, these colors do come off just a little patchy. they don't look that consistent. The red to yellow gradient in the middle really isn't that smooth, and you can actually see each stroke if you look close enough. The same could be said for the color in the lion's face. It just really isn't wall-to-wall color. It's fairly patchy, to be quite honest. As an apprentice, these are the kinds of things that you really need to be dialing in and getting down packed. I would probably stay away from these tattoos at the moment because they're not really that apprentice friendly. Pulling off a tattoo like this and doing it well really takes some good technique and finesse. If we stripped away the background color and the white outline, this would just be a choppy tattoo. From the outline to the coloring, it just seems like you need to work on those fundamentals. For example, if we look at the outline on the raccoon scarf, there's just a part that's missing. It didn't connect. Those sort of things should be hashed out within the first month of your apprenticeship on skin. Same thing could be said for the top of that lion's mane where you've got the doubled up lines. It just seems like you're lacking confidence, and that shouldn't be happening. So it seems like you tried to outline the raccoon in black and the lion in brown, which probably wasn't the best idea, as you could see that outline kind of falls apart around the bottom and side. Had you used a black outline as you did on the raccoon, this thing would have just been a lot more bold and a lot more believable as a sticker. So I would go back to working on my outlines and saturation. I promise when you introduce those fundamental skills in a tattoo like this, it's going to make it look so much better. But thank you, Shawn, for sending that in. Alright, the next tattoo sent in is from Perry Schaefer. And Perry, you sent in this Wile E. Coyote sticker tattoo that's pretty gorgeous. This thing really has all the elements that we've talked about previously in making a really stellar sticker tattoo. Even outside the sticker tattoo realm, this is a well-executed tattoo. The first thing that pops out is obviously that bright red. You've got your color that is wall-to-wall, perfectly, beautifully saturated. And when it comes to the browns, in the Coyote itself, you're not actually muddying it up by using one straight tone. You're leaving room to breathe in areas like the elbows and the fingertips. The shadows are right where they need to be. When it heals up, those areas should heal nice and soft. And as I've said about those drop shadows, this is a flat sticker, but it still seems like it's got the shadows in the right spots to make it seem like it's popping off the skin. The gray wash outline that was used around this entire tattoo is finessed so well that it's been hidden by all those shadows. So Perry, this is a really great tattoo, and there's really not much more for me to say about it. I'd be happy to wear this for sure. Thank you so much for sending that in. Alright, the next one we have sent in is a Scooby-Doo sticker from Evangelos. I'm just gonna call you Evan. Evan, right away I can tell this is a sticker tattoo and you've got some good elements, but there are some technical things that I would like to discuss. So first off, the browns running through this tattoo don't seem to be that well saturated. All through the neck and into the muzzle there are just areas of skin popping through. And although the white border is consistent all the way around, it doesn't seem to be that strong. I do think you could afford to be a bit wider with that border and have those edges not seem so dark with that gray wash. You want those outlines to be crisp but barely there. So when it heals, it feels like it's lifting off the skin. These shadows that you have are just a bit harsh. I know sometimes these tattoos can seem like they're really easy to pull off, but sticker tattoos do take some finesse. And if you don't have the right technique, they just don't work. On this one in specific, I don't think you're far off. You do have the right idea. And to me, it does look like a sticker. However, those shadows do come off a bit harsh. The saturation isn't quite there. That white outline does need to be a bit bigger, and you could definitely use some practice on your line work. But keep it up, Evan, and I hope to see some of your work in the future. Alright guys, that's going to wrap it up for the critiques this week, but I do want to bring up my favorite tattoo that we saw this episode. And that tattoo was sent in from Perry Schaefer with this Wile E. Coyote tattoo. This thing was so well executed, and it really is a believable sticker tattoo. The line work, saturation, and the way your artist really made this feel like a sticker set yours apart from the rest we saw this week. So congrats, Perry, and thanks again for sending that in. Now before we get to the end of this video, I want to share with you guys an artist who I think you should be following and does an exceptional job with these sticker type tattoos. And he is appropriately named Mr. Sticker Tattoo out of Nova Scotia, Canada. Mr. Sticker uses all the tools in his bag to really make these things work. The consistent white border to the gray wash outline around that border, as well as his use of folds and tears to add texture and dimension. You can really tell he knows his way around a sticker tattoo. They don't call him Mr. Sticker for nothing. So please head over to his page, give him a follow, and let him know I sent you. Alright, once again, I want to thank you guys so much for sticking around to the very end of the video. And while you're here, make sure you subscribe to this channel. It's absolutely free. It doesn't cost you a dime. Don't forget to like and share this video with your friends. And if you have any tattoos that you would like to see on this channel, be sure to send them to ponycritiques@gmail.com. Label them whether or not you're an artist or collector, and hopefully we'll see them on a future episode. And until next week, I will see y'all then.